This is a review of the 7 Artisans 14mm f2.8 full frame wide angle lens. This lens was kindly sent to me by Vitapal. This is an all-metal manual focus lens with mechanically operated focus and aperture rings in the old school tradition. They both turn very smoothly and freely, and they have a nice weight and feel. They both have a machined grip, and the aperture ring can be changed from clicked to declicked by pushing this switch. In the clicked position, the aperture can be set at precise values, while the declicked mode gives an infinitely variable aperture that's great if you want to make very fine adjustments, and it's really useful if you're shooting movie footage too. It comes with a screw-on metal lens hood, which helps the prominent front element to avoid contrast drop from stray light. This is a very wide lens, one of the widest I've shot in fact, and it gives a very wide angle of view of 116 degrees. It makes big, wide images, and it's a lot of fun to shoot. It's very sharp from wide open, and like any lens, it gets sharper as you stop down. Because it's a wide lens, depth of field is considerable, and even wide open, much of the shot from fairly close to much further out is usually in focus. So it's a very forgiving lens, and although you can get the focus wrong, it isn't easy with this one, and if you stop down a little, focusing becomes even easier. Wider lenses usually make less background blur than longer ones. However, if you stay at or near the minimum focus distance and shoot the lens wide open, blur will appear, and it's nice blur too, softening the background and separating it from the subject. Colour, despite the warm afternoon light I was shooting in, is generally slightly on the cool side. Colours are strong with good depth, but they're not oversaturated, and I think we can call these colours realistic rather than stylised. Contrast is strong, but because the large curved front element is right at the front of the lens, it's vulnerable to contrast loss from stray light, but it can easily be prevented by shielding the lens with either your hand or the hood. There is some chromatic aberration that can make itself shown if you're shooting against a bright background, but it diminishes as you stop the lens down. Unlike the 10mm fisheye from 7 Artisans that I reviewed last year, this lens shows only a very small amount of barrel-type distortion, and you certainly won't see it in general day-to-day use. This makes the lens useful in landscape and architectural photography, video production, and anywhere you want to keep straight lines straight. This lens makes sharp, wide-angle images with very little distortion. It's fast, it's nicely made, and it's a lot of fun to shoot too. A very nice little lens from 7 Artisans.